When an avoidance starts to pull away, these are the 5 best ways to react to this. The first is to not overreact. I know that the first instinct that you're going to have when any loved one pulls away from you is to try to solve it then and there. You want to figure out what is going on, what can you do, and try to get it resolved as quickly as possible. But when it comes to an avoidant, this is a recipe for disaster because this is only going to cause them to pull away from you. Chances are there's something that has been triggered within them to cause them to want to pull away from you, and the more that you try to work it out, that is signifying to them that you are still trying to get close to them or have them open up or express emotions, which is taking them out of their safety zone and causing them to have this automatic reaction. So instead of you trying to work it out then and there, understand that for whatever reason, they just need to have this space away and you are just going to respect their wishes. Number 2 is to try to not take it personally. Now, this is so easier said than done. I know that you essentially look at everything that's going on and blame yourself and think that there's something that you're doing wrong, or the avoidant has told you specifically that you are causing this and all these different things. But it's so important for you to understand that chances are this has absolutely nothing to do with you and has everything to do with them. They essentially have this avoidant attachment style that came from their upbringing, and this has caused them to be this way. So when they are reacting in this way, there is something that they're projecting on you. There's something that was done by you or said, or they interpreted it in a different way that caused them to feel this way. Whatever it is, this is on them. It's not on you. You were simply doing what you normally would do, reacting in a way where you're just going with the flow, and they again had this reaction. So instead of you trying to make yourself feel guilty or making yourself feel upset, which is going to cause you to potentially try to start solving it, you just want to understand that this again is how they are and you just have to accept it for what it is. Number 3 is to give them space. I know that this is probably the last thing that you would want to do to your partner because you want to again be in the same vicinity and try to work things out. But like I said earlier, this is only going to cause things to be worse. An avoidant needs that space, point blank period. They need that space to kind of get themselves back to being regulated and maybe having a chance of talking with you and working through this. But if you are trying to again be near them and trying to do the normal things that you would do in the relationship, that again is only going to trigger this avoidant attachment style to continue to keep running, right? This is automatic to them at this point. This is just a reaction to the way that they're interpreting the things that you're doing. This is not on you at all. So don't think that I'm saying you are doing something wrong here, because you're not. You're just being your normal self, and they again are looking at this and interpreting it in a certain way. This is why you need to give them that space to hopefully get out of that cycle themselves, which leads perfectly into number 4, which is to maintain your routine and independence. Now, what this means is that do not switch up to try to accommodate this person. I know that this is something that you think is going to make things worse, but this is going to be a lose-lose for 2 different reasons. One, it's most likely going to cause them to pull away even more because they're going to be hypersensitive to the things that you're doing, and they're going to see that you are actively trying to work things out, and they're going to interpret that as you trying to push too much and still not respect what they want, which is not the case because you are just doing what someone would normally do being put in that situation, but they won't interpret it in that way. And the second reason is that you are reinforcing to them that it is okay for them to treat you like this. You need to let them know that you are not going to bend at their will. A lot of times when people are going through a relationship with an avoidant, you get to a point where you get so exhausted for the way that they're reacting that you tend to just allow them to do whatever they want. And whenever they have these moments, you simply submit to them because you just don't want to deal with their antics and them pulling away and everything else that comes with this cycle, which I understand wholeheartedly because nobody wants to have to continue to keep going through that. But this ends up reinforcing it, and they get more and more comfortable with being this way, and they'll keep pushing that boundary more and more and more until you show them that you are not going to keep allowing this to happen. And by you essentially going about your day, doing your routine, maintaining your own independence, you are signaling to them that you are not going to just allow them to continue to play this game. You are not going to keep molding to whatever they want you to do. You are simply just going to do your own thing, and when they're ready, they can come and talk to you as an adult and try to work things out. And this causes them to look inward and see that this is a problem with them because you are respecting their wishes and they're still feeling the way that they are, and what could be the start of them trying to work through this avoidant attachment style. Number 5, and the most important thing to do, is to know when to walk away. I know that you love this person. I know that you want to try to help them, because of the relationship that you guys have and because you want to help them as a person, but you have to understand that this is on them. They have to be the person to want to actually make the change and to take the actions to do so. And chances are they just simply are not at that stage right now. It is going to take a lot for this person to work through this, because again, this is something that has been going on since they were a child, and they were neglected emotionally in their own expectations as far as what they would want to receive from the caregiver. So they have built this to be this way. So they essentially need to go deep down and figure out where this is coming from, heal from that, and then begin to rebuild themselves so that they can actually have a healthy relationship with somebody and express emotions normally that they would if they didn't have that avoidant attachment style. But this is most likely going to take a lot of time for them to do, and it's not going to be done in the relationship itself. Doesn't mean that that's not possible. There are many different examples of couples being able to work it out and, being able to stay in the relationship and just continue to grow from there. But this again has to be on them. They have to recognize that this is a problem that's going on and actually want to make that change and to take the steps. Even if it's a little progress each and every day, that's going to add up to a big change. But this is on them, and you have to come to the realization of, is this a relationship that you want to be in? Do you want to continue to keep going through this cycle? Do you want to continue to keep working through this person? Is this person willing or wanting to do that? Because there are some avoidants out there who use this to their advantage and manipulate the situations. You already know the answer to this, chances are, but you probably don't like the answer to this. And I get it, because again, you have genuine love for them, but you have to love yourself as well and understand that this relationship may not be good for you at all. I hope that you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.